biggest issue for this riding is helping families. We must grow our population now to support our elderly here, which is my other big issue for this riding. To make seniors feel welcomed, respected, important, safe, leaders, mentors of the young, safe, all of these people safe, free, strong at home and abroad. See, we make a big society with smaller government because we liberate, we release, we empower society, not government, which we shrink to grow big society. In my vision, you see the people lead government, a responsive one, not the other way around. Went before not just municipalities, but regional, federal and foreign government offices. And I learned from working with these governments how to build consensus precisely the way an MP needs to. And I come from an old Ottawa family. My grandfather, Earl Smyth, rose to become Chief Auditor of the Federal Employment Insurance Commission. Thank God he was a fiscal conservative. Building it from scratch out of the Depression and war years with his fellow civil servants to become a world-leading institution. His son, my father, Dr. Harley Smyth, is a visionary, gifted speaker, author, and compassionate social conservative neurosurgeon who consulted with the federal and Ontario conservative parliaments as a medical and education leader. They began treating the poor without coverage in church and soup kitchens, synagogues, and community halls to create what was a world-famous provincial health service caring for the most vulnerable. I saw fiscal, social, compassionate, community conservatism create civilization. I learned this broad tradition of our party day after day, month after month, year after year. It sank deep into my mind and heart. And the biggest issue for this riding is helping families, getting youth to stay here, own businesses, especially, I would say, with employee ownership, like at Nanaimo's famous pulp mill, which was resurrected after Stockwell Day dropped $27 million on it and bought it time to go to employee ownership. Same with Check 6 News, many of whom work and live in Langford. I want to get tax money back to child and family benefits, tax breaks for their employers. We must grow our population now to support our elderly here, which is my other big issue for this riding. To make seniors feel welcomed, respected, important, safe, leaders, mentors of the young, safe, all of these people safe, free, strong at home and abroad, be it traveling on our roads and rail, which we must rebuild here, or fighting ISIS or rallying to our Ukrainian allies. See, we make a big society with smaller government because we liberate, we release, we empower society, not government, which we shrink to grow big society. We give back to families. We do this by being a big family ourselves. And that's the key strategy here. We build whole nations in Her Majesty's Commonwealth of Nations with common law in the House of Commons with the Commons, the people. That's what the Commons means. Our natural resources most efficiently to grow society outside of government. That's my experience in business, in family and education. In my vision, you see the people lead government, a responsive one, not the other way around. The resurrection and revivification of the conservative family from the grassroots of the Reform, where my heart was, and its Canadian alliance with the Progressive Conservatives proves the biggest grassroots people's tent wins. The unity of social and fiscal conservatives is our chief need at this late hour. It is what I am delivering. I am bringing the social conservatives back, and I've worked at it for almost a year, especially in Langford, where we will win this thing. But since then, many other things have grown in my campaign, which I believe will give us victory here. In the Cowichan-Malahat-Langford riding, we are up against the NDP, a surging Green Party, and a lift for the Liberals somewhat. Already, this splits their vote. And the disgruntled members of these parties, hundreds of whom I found were former conservatives of a magnificent variety, color, and stripe, they are defecting to me. As campaign volunteers, generous donors, and members, I bring in a broad sweep of defectors because I am this broad big tent conservative. I show them our party's real help with their issues, environmental conservation. On August the 29th, I ask you to help me weld this party back together into the fighting force that built this nation. We'll win this day and help us rebuild this nation for many times to come. Thank you.